Hello, Todd Mutzig here from Meg's Jewelry. Welcome to Diamonds 101. It's a special little thing that we do here in the store to help you to be able to make a good, wise buying decision. There's so much information out there on the web, and we just want to be able to talk through it with you so that you feel confident and knowledgeable and understand why certain diamonds will be so much more expensive than others. And there's really a lot of information. So I hope you find this interesting. Be sure and grab you a piece of paper and make questions. And whenever we get to talk later, we can talk through it. And yeah, so let's get started. So here we go. Diamonds 101. There are 6 C's. Typically you hear people talk about 4 C's. Here at Meg's, we want to be able to take it just a little bit deeper, and we want to take it to 2 more C's. So we'll talk about those there at the end. The first C that we want to talk about is the cut of a diamond. And here we are talking about brilliant cut diamonds. So we have our round, our princess, our pear shape. You can see where all of these have the same style of faceting. And so that's where you get to brilliant cuts. The round brilliant is going to be the most popular. And that's because it's the most brilliant and it's the most durable. Whenever you think about diamonds, you think of them being as the most hard substance, and they are. However, diamonds are cut by striking them. So if you strike a diamond that has a sharp point, like on any of these fancy shapes, it is easier to break or damage your diamond than what it is on the round or an oval, because there's no sharp edge corners there. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're really thinking between, let's say, the princess cut and the round, and you like them equally, and you think, okay, I want to make sure that it is the most durable, then the round is definitely going to be your choice. So after brilliant cuts, we're going to have step cuts. Step cuts, as you can see, the most popular and most common is the emerald cut. And you can almost see exactly where the facets are these long, slender, beautiful. They give great big flashes of light. And you can see the similarities with an asher and a baguette. So a step cut is a very popular style. There's not as many cuts, and whenever you think of them, it's those big flashes of light and just a beautiful, different in a whole different way, but really a beautiful diamond. The second C we want to talk about is carat weight. So carat weight is actually a weight of a diamond that equates to a size, okay? So just like a dollar bill has 100 pennies, a 1 carat diamond has 100 points. And to be able to break that into smaller, units, a 50-point diamond is a half a carat, just like 50 cents is a half a dollar. Same with 75. And one of the things that I really want you to know whenever you're talking about a diamond, let's use a 1 carat diamond for reference. Whenever you say a 1 carat, there is a 10% leeway on either side. So anything from a 90 point to a carat 10. So that's 10% below a carat and 10% above. So those are all still considered a carat. So we can, look at a 91, a 92, a 93 pointer, save you a little bit of money, or a diamond can be a 105 or a 107, and it's still considered a 1 carat diamond. So just keep that in mind, okay? Next, we want to talk about clarity. And clarity is where it really starts to get a little more convoluted. And so whenever you are looking at clarity, we're going to use a scale which is made by the GIA, which stands for the Gemological Institute of America. That's where I did my schooling, and it is the law of the land whenever it comes to anything that has to do with diamonds. So right here on Flawless, That is the tip top of the scale. That diamond is absolutely perfect. No imperfection on the outside, no blemishes, nothing on the inside. That diamond is super, super, super rare. Then we come all the way to the other end of the spectrum, and you can see our little example here in the bottom corner. That diamond is heavily included, has lots of imperfections throughout the diamond, blemishes on the outside of the diamond. Those diamonds are much, much, much more abundant, but they're not going to be as beautiful, and they are going to be, much more easily damaged whenever they're hit or struck because they have those imperfections within. So because this scale has so many little nomenclatures and all that kind of thing, it's really overwhelming. And we want to simplify it much, much, much. So if we make the GIA scale, which is from flawless all the way to I3, let's make this a simple scale from 1 or from 0 to 10. So we're going to say a flawless is an absolutely perfect diamond. And we're going to say an I3 is just ugly and we don't want it. So that is a 0 on the scale. All right. So what I want to be able to do here is draw a line right here in the middle, and it looks like that should be a 5 on our new scale. But what I want to be able to draw attention to is that you see how these I1, I2, and I3, those sections of the scale are much, much, much larger than the SI2, and they get smaller and smaller and smaller. So what this represents is that this is not halfway on the scale. This, in reality, is an 8. And what that means is that everything in the top of the scale from SI2 and above is the top 20% of diamonds mined, okay? So this is primarily where we focus, is anywhere from SI1 to the top half of I1. So that is where we primarily focus. Your mall stores primarily focus from here down. Okay, so that just lets you know just a little bit whenever you go into a mall store and you see that, oh, this is regular $10,000 and we have it marked down $5,000. It was never intended to be a $10,000 diamond. It was always meant to be a $5,000. So this just shows you where they are on the scale. So it just gives you a little bit more information. So the other thing that you need to know is whenever you're talking clarity is that whenever you are referring to an SI1 quality diamond, in the jewelry industry, you can be off by 2 grades. So that means if a diamond is called an SI1, it can be actually an I1 quality diamond, and there is no legal ramifications that you can hold anybody to. This is a loophole, and so you really, really, really need to trust where you're buying your diamond. This is a loophole that, a lot of people in the industry have been able to find. And whenever you're looking at certificates, so the certificate that we suggest the most is the GIA. And they, as I said before, the law of the land, they are going to be the most accurate. But I need you to know, whenever you are talking EGL, which is the European Gem Lab, those certificates look very, very impressive. However, they are always going to be 1 to 2 grades off. They're taking this loophole and using it to their advantage. So you need to be aware that whenever you're buying a diamond, if you're comparing a GIA and an EGL, they will never, never, never be the same price, because the EGL, if it says it's an SI1, it is more than likely either a lower end SI2 or even a I1. So that is just something for you to be able to know. And if there's anything that I missed in this, please, please, please let me know. As you go up the scale, the diamond becomes more and more rare. So as we move up the scale, this is the most rare. This is the most readily abundant. This is going to be the most expensive. This is going to be the least expensive. So that's kind of how that scale works. So we're going to move on to our 4th C, which is color. Same type of scale made by GIA. However, The very top of the line starts at D, and it goes all the way to a fancy yellow intense diamond. So you can see right here in the corner what a fancy intense diamond looks like. It's just beautiful, has the same brilliance as a white diamond, but it is just brilliantly yellow. They also come in pinks, they come in blues. But today we are primarily just talking the white diamonds. Okay, so if we say that D is our perfect 10, whenever you look at that, it is just the color in the diamond itself is just absolutely clear. So if you look at a clear glass of water and look through it, that color that you see there, which is total nothing there, is going to be what a D color diamond is. As you move down the scale, just a tad bit of color is added for each grade, okay? So at a 10, it's the most rare. Right here at R, it is a 0, okay? So if we draw our line right here in the middle, we would assume that to be a 5, but once again, this is an 8, meaning that everything there and above J is the top 20%. So once again, we focus primarily on the top 20% of diamonds, and this is not to say that anything in these colors are not beautiful. They are just not as rare, and if you want to buy one of those diamonds, we can definitely help you. We just want to make sure that if that's what you are after, that's what you get, not that you are wanting something up here and you end up getting something there. The same rules, the same law applies that a diamond can be color graded an I. Well, let's just call it this I right here. And you can be off by 2. So it could be in reality a J or a K, or it could be an H or a G. But however, nobody ever makes a mistake on this way because this costs real money. And so just know that once again, you need to make sure you trust where you're buying a diamond. And if you're buying a certificate, GIA is going to be your most reputable. EGL and others, IGI, those are all going to be 1 or 2 grades off. So hopefully that makes a little bit more clear on how you grade color. And so the next C that we're going to talk about is cost. Cost is, I am right with you, how do we get the best value for our money? So cost is extremely important. Whenever we were talking about the carat weight, whenever I said it could either be a carat 10 or a 90 point, those are all considered to be right at a carat, but at a 90 point diamond is going to be considerably less than what the carat 10 is. So that's a way that we can save money. The clarity, we can move that from the SI2 up to SI1, or we can move it down to the I1 and save you a little bit of money. So we have all of these factors that we can adjust, but nothing affects the price like this next C that we're going to talk about, and that is the cut. And you're like, Todd, we already talked about cut. That was our first C, but that in reality is what shape is. But a lot of stores and people out there do not want to talk about cut because it really is workmanship that really goes into the pricing of a diamond. So I want to bring your attention to this, and we want to talk about it in quite a bit of detail. So for this example, we're going to be talking about 3 different cuts of diamond. We're going to be using a 1 carat round, and we're going to say that they're all graded properly, and we're going to say SI2 I color, okay? So all 3 of these diamonds are 1 carat round SI2, and they are all certified through GIA. So they're very, 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 very comparable, okay? So on an ideal cut diamond, we know what angles need to be in order to give the optimum amount of brilliance. Okay, so an ideal cut, we know what all those angles need to be. So a shallow cut diamond is going to be a diamond that has a bigger surface area and a thinner pavilion, which is this cone area here, okay? So This diamond looks like a carat 20 because it's got a bigger surface area. But the faceting is not beautiful, and it's got dead space, which is, and I'm going to use my highlighter to be able to show, but right here in the middle, it's got a dead space, and it really just is not a beautiful diamond. So then we come over here and we talk about and how I got to red, I don't know, but we're going to stick with it. And this isn't really in proportion, but a deep cut diamond means it's going to have a really deep pavilion and a much, much, much smaller surface area. So when you look at this diamond looks like an 85-point diamond. It's much, much, much smaller. The shallow cut looks like the carat 20, and the ideal looks exactly like what a 1 carat diamond should be. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do some examples, and we're going to talk about pricing on these. So if we talk about a ideal cut diamond, and let's say this one is $6,000, and then a shallow cut diamond, same quality, same everything. This one here, we're going to say is 4,800, and this the deep cut, which really looks like an 85-point diamond, this diamond is 4,200. So if you don't know any different, you would just assume that this diamond for $4,200 is the absolute best value. But in reality, the diamond's never going to sparkle the way that you think it should. And you're always going to wonder why my diamond just doesn't sparkle like other people's diamonds. So our philosophy at Meg's is that if you are happy with this size of a diamond, an 85 point when it looks at it, why not get an 85 point diamond, but get it in ideal cut proportions? That way this diamond sparkles like amazing, and you're probably going to actually save yourself a little bit of money getting an 85 pointer that's cut in ideal proportion. So there is so much information that goes into buying a diamond, and that's why you want to trust true professionals, not somebody that just got their keys yesterday and they're at the jewelry case trying to sell you, a $5,000 diamond. We at Meg's have a reputation of truly wanting to help you to make good decisions that you're proud of, and that make you want to share your experience with other people, other family members. So that is our biggest compliment, is once you have made a purchase and you are one of those that is an advocate for Meg's out there in your world and telling people, it's like, oh my goodness, there is such a difference when it comes to jewelry. You need to go to Meg's and talk to one of those people down there, because they truly know what they're talking about. They're passionate and their integrity is through the roof. So cannot wait to talk to you, and I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you jotted down some notes, and we will talk it through. So thank you. You have now graduated through Meg's Jewelry's Diamonds 101. We will talk soon. Thank you so much.